Welcome back to Charlie Brown Politics. I am Charles Brown, and today I want to talk about RFK Jr. Well, I want to look at a news clip of RFK Jr. speaking at the Iowa State Fair, and I want to specifically look at a point he's bringing up, and that is surprise if you didn't know this 2,000-mile long pipeline that's they're trying to install in Iowa right now. And so let's just let RFK fill us in a little bit more on this, okay?
Guys, I don't know if any of you were over there when I was talking, but one of the things that is, to me, a big concern, the biggest concern, well, one of the largest concerns in Iowa, are these pipelines that are being proposed by Bruce Ratzetter and by BlackRock and Smithfield. And these pipelines are one of the biggest boondoggles I've ever seen. So this is $173 billion over a 10-year period to the oil industry and to big agriculture. It will do nothing for climate change. And in fact, it will make carbon emissions worse, almost certainly. The reason for that is these pipelines they're going to take ethanol, carbon from ethanol plants. They're going to collect them and they're sending them up to supposedly to a dump site, a deep well injection site in North Dakota, but it's right next to the Bakken fields. So North Dakota has already turned them down and said you cannot build the deep well injection site. But nevertheless, the Iowa Utility Board is now about to approve eminent domain for these pipelines to condemn land in this state, to take land from private farmers who do not want to sell their land, to put this pipeline through their property. 45 of the 56 counties through which it runs have protested to the Iowa Utility Board. 80% of the people in this state do not want this to happen. But the people who are building these pipelines have abused the campaign finance system. And for example, one of the owners has contributed $1.6 million to leading Republicans in the state, including the governor, $163,000 to the governor. And she then appointed the two members of the utility board. The old chairman of the utility board delayed the project. They are now fast-tracking it. And this is going to be pushed through, and it makes no sense. The only people, this is going to rob the taxpayer of $173 billion, and it's going to transfer that money to the oil industry. And it's clear that what they really want these pipelines for is to pressure the oil, to scour the last oil in the wells at the Bakken crude site. It has nothing to do with helping climate. In fact, the previous pipe, which is the guinea pig pipe, that ADM built in Illinois, ended up not working, and it has removed less than 3% of ADM's carbon. So,
Yeah, so that's a weird point about this, and we'll get back to the video here in a second. They're trying to pass this pipeline off as being good for climate change. I guess they're trying to say this somehow they're going to use this pipeline to store a bunch of carbon somewhere. Yeah, right off the bat, super fishy. Saying building a pipeline is good for climate change is like saying eating a cheesecake a day keeps your thunder thighs away, so yeah, we'll continue.
they're now doing something that has not been done before. We have a Fifth Amendment in this country, which says that if you're going to take somebody's private property, the government is going to take private property, it has to first provide due process and just compensation. And it can only take that property for a public interest. In this case, this property is being taken for a private interest to make an extraordinarily profitable transfer of wealth from the American taxpayer to these very, very wealthy oil companies and ethanol companies. And if they can get away with this, we've essentially lost the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution, because now, from now on, anybody, any wealthy businessman who has a project that they want can now go to the government and get eminent domain to condemn your property or your property in order to build something that has a dubious, if any, public benefit. So I just want to start by saying that, and again, I'm happy to answer any kind of questions.
Wow. So, uh, well said by RFK. He had so many good points in that. Uh, Bringing up the fact that the government is misusing eminent domain once again to just steal land from people for private corporations. Pointing out the fact that a large majority of Iowa does not want this. It's not for the public interest, it's for private interest. I like how he brought up the fact that the pipeline owners are giving a lot of money to the politicians in Iowa. Um, this reminds me a lot of DAPL. If you don't know about DAPL, it's the pipeline they tried to put up in North Dakota, and they sent the police to pretty much beat the crap out of the protesters. In essence, they used the police to protect a private corporation over the public. And you best believe everything they did in DAPL, they're probably going to do to the protesters of this movement now. And so I don't agree with everything RFK Jr. says, but with that being said, he's bringing up so many good points. Everything he just said on this pipeline being it, his concern for the environment with this, his concern of our government being captured by these corporations, and so much more. So I still think he's going to get screwed over by the Democrats when the primaries come around, but I'm still going to follow what is going on with them and still listen to the points he's going to bring up. So, yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you think about the pipeline. Like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will catch you next time, all right?